Hey folks, this is Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist, and this is happening right now in the United States.
Illinois will be the first state in the nation to end cash bail starting next year. And that is sparking a concern that more criminals could be out on the street.
Grady Trimble is in the loop and breaks down this law, which is called the Safety Act.
A couple things already. First, state. This implies that there's going to be others that use the same law or end up having a similar law. And second, the Safety Act. How many times have we talked about here in the channel? When the left comes up with these laws, these agencies, whatever it is they come up with, the name is part of the key. The name usually means the exact opposite of what they try to implement. So the Safety Act, like the Anti-Inflation Act or whatever the heck they were calling it, it's going to be doing the exact opposite of what the name says.
A number of states' attorneys and sheriffs are sounding the alarm about Illinois' plan to end cash bail. They say it's going to make crime in the state of Illinois worse. The new law that goes into effect January 1st, 2023, gets rid of cash bail entirely. It also limits who can be arrested and held in jail based on the crime they're alleged to have committed. The Democrats...
So it's also about the other hidden stuff that they put within these laws. As always, they hide stuff in these laws that they approve.
Who voted for this law say it's more equitable.
You've been denied a bond because you're dangerous, which is good. Let's deny dangerous people bonds. But if they have a bond, we're saying you're not dangerous. We're just going to keep you in jail because you're poor.
But those in law enforcement who oppose it say it'll lead to hundreds, if not thousands of people being released from jail as soon as it goes into effect at the beginning of the year. They also say it'll make our communities more dangerous with suspects in future crimes roaming free.
There is nothing just, and there's nothing, promoting safety about allowing individuals who choose to break the law to threaten and to hurt innocent people, allow them back on the streets to do it again. That's the opposite of justice, and that's the opposite of promoting safety within our community.
The new law comes at a time when businesses are already leaving the city of Chicago, some of them over safety concerns. Crime in the city is up 37% from a year ago. In the Loop, Grady Trimble, Fox 32, Chicago.
It's insanity. They're talking about releasing dangerous criminals, dangerous thugs. And this is the plan from the left. This is the plan of people like Lori Lightfoot, who we see here. They want to make their voter base stronger. That's the plan. The idea is punishing the conservative, punishing the law-abiding citizen. The idea is for their voters to be empowered. This is Keith Picot, mayor. He has some interesting things to say as well.
The Village of Orland Park demands that the state legislators work with public safety representatives and all community stakeholders to fix remaining problems with the Safety Act, including but not limited to unreasonably limiting the imposition of cash bail, unreasonably limiting police officer discretion to make arrests, imposing unreasonable police certification and decertification standards, mandating unreasonable custodial accommodations, unreasonably allowing offenders to violate terms of their release, and violating victims' rights as outlined in Illinois law. The Village of Orland Park demands that these provisions are removed or that the Safety Act be repealed prior to their implementation on January 1st, 2023. My comments on this. I can't even begin to tell you how dangerous this act is. First, it was passed in the middle of the night with 40 minutes to read an 800-page bill, which is unacceptable. As of January 1st, 2023, the following things will go into effect, and people need to be aware of this. It abolishes cash bail for almost every offense. This includes, but isn't limited to, kidnapping, armed robbery, second-degree murder, drug-induced homicide, aggravated DUI, threatening a public official, and aggravated fleeing and eluding. Offenders released on electronic monitoring have to be in violation for 48 hours before law enforcement can act. They could almost drive to Alaska before we can even look for them. It denies victims their constitutional rights. And keep this in mind, businesses and homeowners. Officers will no longer be able to remove trespassers from your residence or your businesses. Someone could decide to live in your shed, and all we can do is give them a ticket. You have to decide what level of force is required to remove them and whether or not it's legal. This is a massive threat to the residents of Orland Park.
It is insanity. It is the purge. This is what the left has in mind. It is about empowering criminals, their voters, because that's what they do. I mean, this is the stuff that I went through in Argentina when the criminals and the government ended up always benefiting the thugs, the criminals like themselves. That is their voter base, while at the same time punishing the law-abiding citizen, the conservative, the right-wing guy. They want to make you. This is like South Africa, but in a different continent, basically. Right? It's a political persecution of people because they're not aligning with their ideology. All right? And what is it that you can do? Well, you can prepare, as always, like I talk about here on the channel. Get my book, Surviving the Economic Collapse. This is key for what you see going on right now. Street survival skills. Here I explain how to use these to defend yourself and your family. How to use these other tools as well. All of these things that we talk about here all the time, if you don't have the knowledge, I mean, and it's the basic stuff, the way in which you draw, aim, the way you grip a gun properly, regarding home defense as well, self-defense too, with improvised weapons, with knives, with guns. These are all the things that you have to learn right now because you're running out of time. See you on our next video, folks. Take care.